I was 2 signatures away from closing a $5.2 million commercial property deal in downtown Boise when my assistant buzzed me. "Nathaniel, there's a call from someone named Marissa, wedding planner." That was weird. I didn't have any weddings booked. "Patch her through," I said. "Hi, Mr. Cross, this is Marissa Langston. I'm coordinating the Rains wedding, my brother-in-law Preston, marrying some influencer I'd met twice." "What's this about?" I asked. "I was asked to reach out. There's been a change to the guest list. Specifically, your name's been removed." "Removed from what?" "From attending. I was told by the bride's family it would be better if you didn't come." I let that sit. Did my wife say that? The instruction came from her parents. 6 months earlier, I'd wired $42,000 to cover the wedding, overheard my sister-in-law crying about the budget being tight, and quietly stepped in, no questions asked. "Why now?" I asked. A month before, they said they didn't want to make things awkward, that the money was, quote, a generous gift with no conditions. "Marissa," I said, tone going flat, "can you send me a list of your vendors? Full breakdown, names, contact info, invoices." "Just do it, please," I said and hung up. "My name is Nathaniel Cross. I'm 56 years old. I own Crosswind Properties, and we don't just own real estate. We control service contracts, staffing, maintenance across Idaho." I had a suspicion about those vendors, and I was about to find out exactly what it cost my in-laws to cut me out. The vendor list hit my inbox 5 minutes later. Florals, Bloomwell Designs. My company handled their warehouse lease. Catering, Mesa Table Events, under a long-term kitchen rental with a Crosswind subsidiary. Tent and Decor, Seven Forks Supply. I'd acquired them during a quiet buyout spree. Even the valet service rang a bell. Then the venue, Cedar Point Estate, I froze. We'd closed on that last quarter through a holding company. I didn't just know the estate, I owned it. The wedding they didn't want me at was happening on my land with my vendors, run by my system. I called Joanna, head of legal full contract review. "Vendor clauses. I want to know what levers we can pull." 20 minutes later, boardroom, contracts on screen, all vendors under standard terms, she said. Opt out with 21 days notice. No refunds required within the window. "Does that include Cedar Point?" I asked. Same clause. So if I pull the plug today, they'd be left scrambling with less than 3 weeks. "Technically, yes," she said, "but Nathaniel, that's your wife's family. You'd be tanking their wedding." "They're the ones who erased me," I said. "All I did was build the stage. They're the ones who barred the door." "We'll proceed," I said. "Full execution. Notify each vendor with official withdrawal letters by end of day." "All of them?" Joanna asked. "You want to leave them with nothing. I want them to feel what it's like to be dismissed without notice." The first cancellation went out at 9:12. By noon, all of them had been executed. Florals, catering, valet, tents, sound, even the estate manager. Not burned, I told my assistant, repossessed. By 3, Preston's fiancé had posted a cryptic message online. Some people would rather destroy than be decent. Her followers lit up the comments. I didn't comment, didn't explain. By 5, Roger, my father-in-law, called. I let it ring. He tried again. 3rd time I picked up. "You've lost your goddamn mind," he snapped. "You're ruining your own family's wedding." "You mean the family that told a planner not to invite me?" I said. "That was a misunderstanding. One you didn't bother to clear up," I said. "You're mentally unstable? Then I guess you shouldn't have taken my money." I hung up. Paula, my mother-in-law, left a sobbing voicemail, said she didn't raise her girls to be caught in a business war. But this wasn't war. This was a correction. They made the rules when they took the cash and cut me out. I was just enforcing the fine print. By Friday, the wedding was bleeding out from the inside. No chairs, no food, no flowers, no venue. Someone was going to crawl back, they always do. But they wouldn't find the same guy they thought they could use and forget. 2 days later, my receptionist buzzed me. "Your wife's family is in the lobby, all of them. Send them up." Roger came in first, forehead red. "What the hell do you think you're doing?" I clicked the projector, brought up the vendor contracts. Opt-out clauses highlighted in yellow. Exactly what the contracts allow, I said. My wife stayed silent behind her mom, pale, arms crossed. watching me like she didn't recognize who I was. I clicked to the next screen. Their family group chat, circled in red, used Nathaniel's money. He won't notice. My wife's head snapped toward her dad. You said no one talked about this behind my back. He didn't answer. Whitney, her sister, jumped in. This isn't fair. You blindsided us. I didn't react, I responded, I said. My wife asked, quiet, strained. Why didn't you just talk to me? I didn't think you were listening, I said. I slid a proposal folder toward Celeste. The bride, your choice, this or nothing. But if you want it to happen at all, it goes through me. Celeste showed up at Crescent Bay Lodge the next morning alone, no entourage. This is yours, she asked, looking around. Flagship, I said. I handed her a portfolio, vendor list, bank transfers, group chat screenshots, a timeline of every favor and every lie. They said you didn't care to come, she said. I wasn't invited, I said. There's a difference. Her parents burst in, her mom marching in like she owned the place. This is completely inappropriate. I hit the remote. Up came Crosswind's org chart. Every vendor, every property, every holding company, my world. Celeste came here on her own, I said. No one forced her. This isn't about revenge, I said. It's about respect, the word your family keeps tossing around but never practicing. Celeste stared at the screen. They acted like you were just some guy with a checkbook, she murmured. I need time, she said. Take it, I said, but don't take too long. We met again 2 days later in the boardroom. Roger tried a compromise. You come to the wedding, we reinstate the vendors, clean slate. I laughed sharp. There is no slate to clean. You wiped yourselves when you decided I didn't matter. What do you want, Nathaniel? An apology done, we're sorry. I slid a folder across the table. Laurel House, Saturday. Private estate, exclusive use. Staffed, catered, secured. $185,000. Upfront, non-refundable. That's your new price of recognition. Celeste sat down. You're serious. Dead serious. Why push it this far, she asked. Because I own the damn stage you want to perform on, and I'm done pretending I don't. Celeste turned, certain. I'd like to see Laurel House, she said. Her mom looked like she'd swallowed glass, but it was done. The narrative had changed. Not a family begging for forgiveness. A client negotiating with the owner. Me. I walked them through Laurel House like any other client tour. No small talk. Just doors opening, lights flipping on. A silent message in every polished surface. You don't own this world. You're standing in mine. We planned it that way, I told Paula when she said everything turned out beautifully. And all of them your people? She asked, watching my staff move. That's Aaron, Director of Events, Manny, Transport Logistics, Angela, Client Experience. No more underestimation. During the toasts, Celeste stood, glass in, both hands. A lot of you don't see what happens behind the scenes, but I do, and I wouldn't be standing here if not for Nathaniel. She raised her glass. The room applauded, fully, for the first time in this family. A month later, Sunday dinner was at my place, my rules, grilled steak, no caterers, just me at the grill. Roger asked about my Texas properties, curious, not patronizing. My wife mouthed, I'm proud of you. Whitney handed me her phone. One message. I'll never forget what you did. Thank you. No words needed. They helped clean up without being asked, weirdly humble, learning how to be guests in a house they'd never seen as real before. I still kept my boundaries, separate accounts, no blank checks. They could eat at my table, but they'd never have blind access to the kitchen again. Success didn't buy their love, it bought me space, and that was enough.